Time for the next question. Consider the following class declarations. So here we have two classes whose declaration is shown over here. So let's look into the first class, that is point. Class point has two instance variables, private instance variables of type double. Now, in the constructor of class point, here we are passing or accepting two parameters. Okay, the implementation of the constructor and the additional method is not shown, so we need not to worry about it. Okay, so the next class is the line class. It has two private instance variables, both of type point. Okay, now let's look into the constructor implementation. The constructor again takes two parameters of type point. Implementation is not shown, so let's go to the question, what it says. In a client program, which of the following correctly declares and initializes line M1, which has the endpoints 6.26, 9.3, and 13.0, 8.0. So these are the two endpoints of line M1. What we have to do here is we have to look into each of the options which correctly declares the line M1. So let us look into it. Option A. Okay. Line M1 is equals to new line 6.26, 9.3, 13.0, 8.0. This is wrong. Why? Because here, while constructing an object of type line, what are we doing here? Here we are passing 4 parameters, which is completely incorrect. Why? Because this line constructor accepts only 2 parameters. Okay, that's the reason we are eliminating option A and option B with the same reason, because it is a similar kind of thing we are doing here. 6.26, 9.3, 13.0, 8.0. So here also we are mentioning 4 parameters. Now, let's look into option C. Point P1 is equals to, okay, so here we are creating an object of type point. So this seems to be completely fine. Point P1 is correctly defined because it has 2 double values. Okay. Point 2 seems to be correct, but here is the problem. Line. While creating line M1 type of object, what we are doing over here, there are no arguments being passed over here. But as we look into the code, it accepts 2 parameters. And since we are not passing any parameter over here, we will eliminate this. Same thing is happening over here. Line M1 is equals to new line, no parameters. Eliminate it. Okay, so let's look into the last option. Point P1 is equals to new point. That seems to be fine. This also seems to be fine because while creating an object, we are passing 2 double values in both of these statements. And let's look into this line. Line M1 is equals to new line. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Here in this line constructor, we are passing P1 and P2, both of type point. So we will just verify it. Okay, so the constructor of class line accepts 2 points, 2 parameters, point P1 and point P2. Okay, that is the reason this option E is the correct option. Correct. Okay.